I feel very, very strongly about the fact that there are no negative cards in the tarot deck. A lot of people will say, or will get, especially when you're new to tarot, or if you don't know tarot, there's so much focus on negative cards. So a popular negative card, of course, Devil card, Death card, Ten of Swords, a lot of Swords cards, 9, 8, Five of Cups, Five of Pentacles. There's lots of cards that'll come up, and people will really go into this association where they're not good, or it's like, ooh, or there's worry. Tower, that's another one. My belief and practice with tarot is every card is inherently neutral. So my approach to tarot, and this is what can change the kind of negative, positive, neutral connotations. My approach to tarot is to give people guidance and perspective and insights, support. And that's how I read for people. So if I ever get a card that would be perceivably negative, what I'm doing is I'm actually looking at the card and going, how is this card trying to help the person in front of me? Because that's what it's doing, because that's my intention for reading. My intention is so that that person can leave and they can feel a little bit better or more at peace with their circumstance. So why would the tarot come up? Am I going to tell them something horrible is going to happen? No, because that doesn't bring them any peace or any assistance. So sometimes when cards like that, jarring cards come up, it's a warning, which means that I can look at that card and go, okay, cool. Like we have preparation to do. So particularly in cases of, say, financial loss, I'm not going to have sit down with my person and go, hey, so you're going to lose a bunch of money. Bye. That's not helpful. That's not supportive. It might be true, but it's not helpful. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to notice, see, acknowledge that there is a financial loss, and I'm going to look to other cards, and including that one, to see how I can prepare my person for that financial loss, what steps could be taken to make that transition a little bit more easeful. So for instance, what almost always comes up in that situation, and this has actually happened in my own readings as well, is it won't necessarily tell me financial loss, because I am a very anxious person. So my cards know me and they don't just like throw bombs at me. Instead, what they'll do is be like, hey, keep it to essential spending only. And I'll be like, oh, okay, no problem. And then 3 months later, my husband, his work hours got cut down. And right now I am off taking care of our baby. So I'm on maternity leave. That was a significant cut of income for us. And so I'm like, yes, okay. So that was the reason I was meant to go down to essential spending only, is so that we would not be carrying any more debt that might put us in a stressful situation. So that's how you can use cards, is go, oh, I see something coming that looks uncomfortable. Let's see how we can prepare that person for that, rather than just telling them that something's uncomfortable. So that's one way that you can kind of get through that negativity bias with some of those cards, is how is this trying to help me? How is it trying to support me? Because then it's not negative. I would actually flip that to say too, you can get there's equal hindrance in thinking a card is inherently positive. Because again, we're trying to get guidance, we're trying to get support, we're trying to get help. So sometimes like positive cards can have a flip side, or again, a guidance or neutral or advice side to them, which is saying, hey, you're not very grounded right now. Or I think that you're being gullible, naive. And I would probably choose my words carefully, because it's, again, not super supportive to just outright tell someone they're being gullible or naive. But you can usually phrase that in a way that someone can receive and digest a little bit more easily. But yeah, it's basically just going, everything that happens in life is neutral, and our perception of those events is actually what makes it positive or negative. So to me, the tarot deck is exactly the same. The whole deck is neutral, and it's the perception or our relationship to each card that makes it positive or negative. So again, that's just losing that the tarot is positive or negative. And a really great challenge, if you want to challenge yourself with this, is dig out the cards in the deck that do trigger you, or that make you feel uncomfortable or make you feel negative, and look into them or look, like, journal entry this, or sit with it, think about it, meditate, whatever your practice is, and go, what would this card trying to tell me if it was trying to tell me something positive? I will give you one example and then I'll sign off because this video is longer than I wanted it to be. My trigger card was the Tower. Anytime I saw the Tower, it was imminent disaster. And I am an anxious person. That was always really hard for me to see. And then I met my husband and one of his birth cards is the Tower. And I went, well, how does that work? Like, how does it work if the Tower is your birth card? It can't just mean you have a horrible life. Like, that doesn't make any sense. So with my husband, what I learned, and again, kind of integrating and looking for those other meanings that the Tower represents, my husband is awesome in a disaster. Yes, in a disaster, but in a crisis. He really manages crisis well. So I also now, when I see the Tower, I can see someone who is graceful in the state of crisis. So that's a really empowering quality to have, right? And anyways, that's just one example. There's a million other ones out there. Have at her, have fun, comment, and all the things, right? The likes and the subscribes. And I do have a Patreon account. I would love it if you follow me there. It does help to support everything. There are readings available on there, and I try to keep lots of good bonus stuff. Okay, I'll see you another time. Bye.